Hey, my name is Eric Sharp. My main stage debut with Theater Mu was A Midsummer Night's Dream in 2006, and I played Bottom. I got an audition with Rick Shiomi. He's like, yeah, you could play several of these parts, but we want you to play Bottom. It was hearing that idea that as an Asian dude, you could be considered for several roles in one show. Like, this was just a foreign idea to me.
My name is Katie Bradley. I made my Theater Mu debut in A Midsummer Night's Dream, and I played Hermia. That was the first time I had been in a room full of Asian American artists. I don't think I really realized the impact of that until years later.
Once you get through the idea that Asian Americans can be center stage, that lifts a little bit of weight off your shoulders. Once you realize that there are other people like you that are Asian American and want to make a life out of the theater, that lifts another weight. Being involved with a company like Mu has let me feel like I am a part of something much, much bigger than myself.
My name is Louisa Dar. I made my Theater Mu debut this year in Man of God. When I heard I got the role, it was pretty emotional because it was also the first role I think I had ever played that was really written for this multi-dimensional Asian American character that was also just a girl like me.
My name is Clay Mansu. My Theater Mu main stage debut was A Korean Drama Addict's Guide to Losing Your Virginity. I played Secretary Kim. In college, they're like, what are your dream goals? Where do you see yourself in like 5 years? And my dream was to be an actor or just to be working at Theater Mu. I was like, even if I'm just like holding a light over here.
You start out with this idea that, oh, I'm just gonna be an actor. And then you meet somebody like Rick Shiomi, the founding artistic director, and he'll come up to you and just give you jobs. Some of those jobs are things that you've never ever thought that you could even conceptualize doing before. So for me, that was playwriting.
I've worn many hats at Mu. Actor, director, teaching artist,
A taiko drummer, I have been a bartender, arts administrator,
community liaison, education manager,
a marketing director,
curriculum developer,
an actor, a director, and a producer. I think that's at least a majority of the things I've done with Mu.
You asked this question of what opportunities has Theater Mu given me, and my brain just fills and then explodes because there have been so many. Directing Man of God is one of the highlights of my career. I think in order to train and to work on your craft, you have to be given those opportunities. It's so important for artists to be given chances to just try.
My first Theater Mu show I saw was in 2018. It was 2 Mile Hollow at McKnight Theatre. I was still in college at the time. Seeing these Asian actors on stage and being so successful at what they do, I felt really inspired to change my name to Clay Mansu. Mansu is my Korean name. I am a Korean adoptee. So I went back to college and I was talking to my professor, who was also like my advisor. He told me that I wouldn't really get cast, or if I do get cast, it will just be Asian roles. I graduated college and did a Theater Mu show and have been working consistently since then. With my name change, I've worked really hard to get there, but it started with that name change and being confident in who I am.
One specific instance I think of when I think of the support I've received from Theater Mu is the day after we closed Man of God, there was an incident at my school involving Asian American hate. And I remember reaching out to my fellow cast members, just feeling very confused and helpless. It was a really difficult time for me, and I don't think I could have handled it as well as I did without the support of Theater Mu.
I think the reason that it's important for Theater Mu to be here 30 years from now is that we are just getting started.
Debutante's Ball was the first show I ever saw with Filipino cast, Filipino actors. I remember that really stuck with me. It's something that I think about every day as an actor. When I think of who I was when I first saw Debutante's Ball, how I felt walking out of that theater, seeing women who looked like me on stage, it was one of the most life-changing moments. And I think when you support theaters like Theater Mu, you're creating those moments.
I think of all the people out there who can be wonderful actors, wonderful creators, but they're never given a chance. I want to give those opportunities to people, to provide a safe space like I was provided.
There is something about being able to be a role model. You can uplift, you can inspire, you can engage with young Asian American students and give them a voice, give them agency. Who knows, maybe down the line, they'll be the ones that will be in this chair, having this interview right now and saying Theater Mu changed my life, because for me, Theater Mu changed my life.
I am Theater Mu.
I am Theater Mu.
I am Theater Mu.
Oh my God, I'm Theater Mu.